Hi, I'm Landy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a real basic, easy to use Bible journaling technique. And I learned about it from Shauna Noel when she first started the Bible journaling movement, I guess you could call it. And so let's get started. Okay, so I've got my supplies here. I've got some different kinds of paint. These are some fancy illustrated fake paint. And so this would be high viscosity paint. I guess that's worth mentioning. And then I have this. It doesn't really matter what kind of paint you're using, what kind of acrylic paint you're using. So that's the high viscosity. And then I've got this stuff. And it's the basics line from Liquitex. And I'm also going to be talking about matte medium. And the tools I'm going to be using to scrape the paint is an old gift card. Actually, this one is MoviePass. Do you guys remember MoviePass? It was great while it lasted. And then also I have this, and this is a tool from the Dollar Tree from the baking section where you cut. It's for cutting dough in baking, and I love this the best. This is my favorite thing. And anyway, and so I've got my illustrating Bible here, and if you're new to Bible journaling, this is like the creme de la creme for Bible journaling because it's got a square format with a 4-inch margin for Bible journaling. Let me find one that's finished in here. And here's one. And so you can do some great things. That's watercolor. That's not scraping. I'm not sure if I have any scrapers in here. Nope, no scrapers. So you could do a lot with these big margins. And see, this was very wet watercolor, and so it bled through a little bit. Oh, here's another one. Nope, that's a printable. So I like to put tags in the ones that I do. So yeah, there's a lot of painting in this one. Oh, look at that one. More paint. This is more what we're going to be doing, what I'm going to be showing you how to do today. This effect. And so a lot of times people try out things in the back of their Bible. There's always a couple of pages back here. And you can this one especially has a couple because I know this is what we do. And so people use this to test things, test the paper. And so today I'm going to show you how to do the paint scraping. And so I'll start with this one first. And you want to put in, let me try the yellow first. You want to do a teeny tiny amount of paint. I usually say a pea size. And even though I say a pea size when I'm teaching this in classes, that's how much you need. Just a teeny tiny bit. And you're going to scrape it along the paper, and you're going to push kind of hard. Not too hard, but kind of hard. And so here we go, like that. Just like that. And so there's almost nothing left on the card. And and it's dried. Oh, that's still wet. Here, let me put that there. And it takes like, I'm going to get a wipe to wipe my hands off. It takes moments for this to dry if you don't put too much paint on. Too much paint is like, it'll just get you into trouble. It'll just get everywhere, and it'll smear everywhere, and it won't dry, and it'll be a big mess. So that's how you use the card. And then here, and it works best with light colors, but I'm going to show you a darker color so you can understand what I'm talking about. So put a tiny bit like that. And once you get the hang of it, you can add more. But you want to do it hard enough so that it's as thin as you can get it. And the reason why you want it that thin is because me personally, I like it this thin because I want to see the print come through the paint. And so if I make it too thick, then I can't see the print. And that's just a stylistic choice. You know, Bible journaling, there are no rules, and so you can do it any way you want, but this is kind of how I like to do it. And this color, this one doesn't have very much white in it, and that's why you can see the paper. And I don't even know what color this is. Oh, it's light ultramarine blue. And this yellow is primary yellow. Okay, so now I'm going to do this purple, and it's deep violet. I like all things purple. Now, I do have lighter colors, but they have a lot of white added, and white is not see-through. So that's how much I'm using, just a teeny tiny bit. And there's that. There we go. As thin as possible. See, nothing left on my scraper. Beautiful paint. Beautiful paint. So when you're doing the scrape stuff, in my opinion, because I like to see the print come through, the more liquid the paint is, the better. And so it's harder for me to use these thick, high quality ones. And it's a lot easier for me to use the student paint, or like this. I think I got this at the Dollar Tree. This paint's much better because it's so watery. So there's that. And then the next thing I wanted to show you was this Liquitex. And Liquitex is it's acrylic. It's basically acrylic paint with no pigment in it. And I like to use this to prep my pages as a primer instead of using gesso. So when I first started this, I would use gesso and would wreck my pens and ruin my pens because I like to write right over the paint. But when I use matte medium instead to prep the pages, then it works better for me. So let me clean this off, because if I use this now, I get little pieces of blue and yellow paint on my page, and purple. See, all that would be on my page. So you want to make sure your scraper is really clean. And then this, we're going to use a lot more because we're going to be covering the whole page. And so what I like to do is, there's two sides to the scraper. There's a flat side and a beveled side, and I want to use the flat side. And I put a line of it like this, a lot more. And you don't have to be so careful with this because it's clear. It's going to dry clear. But what I do is I try to, it's the same philosophy, right? So we try to do as thin as possible so that it creates a barrier on our page, and we can do whatever we want on this page and it won't go through. But it's not so thick that it becomes part of the art. This is supposed to be invisible and just protecting so that all of the inks and paints and things don't bleed through. And so I go like this and make it as thin as possible. And because you can't see it, whoops, I didn't clean it off well enough. Because you can't see it, sometimes I miss. And so I try to look on the side and see if I got it all. But now this whole page has matte medium on it, and it's gonna provide a barrier for all of the other art techniques I might use on a page. And if you make it really thin like that, the page won't buckle. This is as much buckling as it's gonna do. So now you've seen what paint scraping for Bible journaling looks like, and so you may have heard it here and there, and now you know what it is. And so now I'm going to show some examples of my art using that technique in the outro, and I'll see you next time.